My first pair of socks took me 6 months. When I finally got that pair of socks done, I was the proudest person in the world. I now make a pair in an hour and a half. Every sock I look at and I like. They make me happy. My name is Barbara Schroeder. I've had like many lives. Right before I came to Tucson, I wove, and I was living in Minnesota, and I was at the Weavers Guild in Minneapolis, and someone brought in a pair of these perfectly made socks. Somebody else says, these are store-bought. You can't sell this at our bazaar thing. And somebody says, no, they were made on an antique sock machine. And my ears perked up, and I thought, wow. Went online and I saw them. Well, then I also saw that you can't find them. Once they electrified the factory, they would melt them down. So not that many of the old machines are left. I joined a Yahoo sock cranking group that was worldwide. It's almost like a cult. I found a woman in New Zealand that had machines for sale, and she promised they worked. So that's where I got my first machine, which is out in the living room. Stay. What? You're just too nutsy for me, dog. The old machines, like the one in front of you, are 1830s. The man who invented the flatbed knitting machine turned his flatbed round and made a circular sock machine. This one doesn't make the same clicking noise, but they make a little clicking noise. If you can hear it, you know. I think we just messed up that sock, but that's okay. That's all right. Anyway, I can fix it. Somebody worked on this machine to make, well, how much money would you make in 1850? And young girls, I assume you'd be like 12, 13-year-old girls, could have been in there, to even older women, were bringing home their 25 cents from working all day long making socks. They left sort of a mark on the machines to me. I can trace my heritage like back to Ireland. There could have been girls in my family that worked in these machines. The old machines carry that sense of a person, which it has heart to me. Everybody can pull out a drawer and there's a bunch of socks in there. But if you're somewhere in the trenches or overseas fighting, socks become a critical issue. During World War I, the soldiers were fighting in France in the trenches. But a lot of them only had one pair of socks. They got wet and yucky, and they had what was called trench foot. They put out a call for women to make socks. The factories sent machines to the front. And with it would come a person who could teach the kids who were walking wounded, I guess is what you'd say, how to make socks for the other guys. It was a massive effort. Wool socks are better than anything you could buy because one, there's lanolin, so they actually do nice things for your feet. You think of wool, an animal, it's an insulator to keep the hot out as well as the cold. It sort of keeps your body temperature, So in the summertime when you're wearing your wool socks, it's much better than a cotton sock. Your feet don't get hotter than they should. Wool socks stay dry and cool. I don't look at myself so much as anything other than a factory worker. So Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays are women's socks. On Thursdays and Fridays, I do men. So I go to my little piece of paper and said, oh, I need men's extra large. That gives me a balance through the week. Every machine I have is set to something. They make a different thing with a different amount of tension is needed. So that's why I have so many machines. That and I'm sort of addicted to them. It just is very calming to me. In the mornings on Mondays, I will go and get all the yarn I'm going to want for the week. And I will wind the cones up. Then I would sit down and I do clean my house. It doesn't look like it, but I do periodically clean my house. By afternoon, I'm cranking socks. By Thursday, I'm washing socks. Every day is kind of the same thing. There's different routines, but that's kind of what the day is like. I am a bit of a hermit. I tend to be a little compulsive, which is maybe why this works. I also need to make things. You're born that way, okay? It's how you're put together. I was the one who would make somebody a candle out of crayons that would melt all over the table when you lit it. I come from a generation where my parents and grandparents saved balls of string. Today, people would just throw it away. So I could use every bit. I don't have big challenges. I think that's part of the reason why I like doing it. It's sort of not quite mindless, but it's just therapeutic. I walk in here and I'm happy. I overbuy, there's no getting around it. People say, what happens, you're 73 years old, you've got quite a bit of yarn. If I quit selling at the market, I'm gonna make socks for homeless people. Everybody deserves good socks.